everyone taking peak performance as you called out earlier. And our first, at least real star is the bouncy house. So woohoo! A lot of fun.
Go ahead and get the bad map out of the way. Save the interesting
No!
ones. Nah, this map sucks. I'll say it. Both barriers kind of falling, and I'm very curious to see how the teams play this out because initially I'm looking on bouncy variant. I think Estelle is really really good on that. However, I also think Dubu is really good on this variant. So I don't know. It's very interesting. I think Mako's gonna have some issues here, and oh my god, a little scary, but.
Yeah, Asher already at level 2, and Edicam just trying to dribble away to get his level 2 as well, trying to get his special on Linus. Literally almost every point of scriptwriters are already there as Eternal sneaks up on Captain Cold and puts it in the net himself. Midfielder getting it done there, and at this time it kind of seems like Eternal and Sovereign are kind of trying to play more into keeping it on one side of, or at least letting Sovereign handle one side and Eternal having the rest of it going on already. I mean, Dash Punch trying to get Edicam off the guard as Megaverse tries to still hold it down though. I mean, the big thing is that Dubu is massive though. I guess the Juliet, yeah, it's like sort of winnable, but if you're gonna be losing interactions like half the time because the Dubu is just so giant and has so much space. But this time, the Juliet wins the round as the KO found onto Megaverse is good. Sovereign trying to push up the bottom corner and Eternal has the flip ready to go. Flip coming out of Zero Station again, procs away the strike and is able to get the core out of the net. As Captain Cold again setting up on the corner offense and it can with the pass. Goes to the bottom corner. Flip is good. Flip needed. Flip secured. 2 flips actually being burned as well as the punch is securing snack time at that point.
Yeah, it was looking really, really scary, and that is one of the main, that is like kind of the upside of this Julie pick, and we saw that dash punch on Megaverse. Very, very impactful kill. Even if it didn't immediately get a reward, that kills so much momentum for the offense, and it's a real threat Mega's going to have to watch out for, even with the pauldrons to kind of help reduce that knockback. But, like, look at Eddie Cat. He's stalking. He's hungry. He wants the dash punches. He wants to find something. Oh.
CP coming online, and both barriers found, but no goal to be secured. Sovereign pick up the arrow orb, getting something done. We're earned the first barrier as well as Eternal and Megaverse trying to work at the bottom, look at the top corner actually. But the strikes are being won from Edicam. Somehow nothing going through Edicam with the Shaolin kick, taking it to the top side. And Snack Time are still on the roll right now as they are leading up 2-1 ahead of this first set.
For sure. We didn't even get a chance to really see any Baron interaction. The big center orb that, buffs up a player. Unfortunate, but I'm sure we'll see many, many more of those coming through the upcoming points. Hopefully, because I think that's an interesting map. Not really. I hate playing on it, but, like, it's fun to watch.
Oh, both flips burns and it's still taken out away. Eternal left on what can be said more than a little bit of a ration, as now he's the one trying to score. Edicam trying to find the kill away as Megaverse loses the interaction, will lose his barrier too. Not a great start from them, as now Jewish Asian keeping the core along with Edicam, keeping the speed up as well. As Sovereign just has to walk back. There really isn't much he can do, because if he can't really do anything in the front line, then he has to help in the back line. The kill again saw out by Edicam. 2v3 power play once again for the team, as Snack Time are kind of ready to dominate here. Megaverse and Eternal on the top side trying to get the core out of the way as we hit overtime now, and Edicam with simple 1-2 punch. Megaverse throws the Tofu Fortress backwards, and it is saved out once again. No abilities forward now as the Megaverse still has the core saved out. Captain Cole taking the pass splitter away from Sovereign, and it allows Edicam to put the core in the net in front of Megaverse. Megaverse with great saves, but Edicam still the brawler getting it done and putting Snack Time up a set.
Yeah, and this is a very... Oh god, it's such an important awakening to get. 1-2 punch on Julie. That's her favorite set of, boxing gloves. She's putting them on. She's already lethal, and she just got a lot more lethal. And oh my god, actually, surprisingly, I think Mako is going to have some options here. Inner Focus would be massive. I don't think Dubu's taking heavy impact, and that's a very, very scary draft. 1-2 punch, Inner Focus on your Mako. Estelle has heavy impact, and yes, you do have some, like, utility stuff for the scriptwriters, you know, or not missile prop, aerials on your Drakkar, a little bit of extra range, some move speed in the secondary is always nice, but that's not really it's not really something that you win off of. That's more of a, you know, I want this because it feels nice to have, and I don't know. Glass cannon? Dude was putting on the skates, but you know, you're missing a crucial part of those skates, namely the boots, the skates themselves.
Speed coming online, Megaverse walking all the way up at the corner offense again. It's just not giving up. Asianator winning a Asianator, what the heck? Jewish Asian winning a lot of these interactions, just straight up winning a lot of them, and being able to do so keeps the core away from the net and stalls out the play from Sovereign and Eternal. I mean, their offense just can't seem to get going. Like there's almost like a bottleneck keeping them away from scoring, and Sovereign again in front of Jewish Asian as the evade clear goes perfectly fine for him. I mean, he's holding it down so long to the point where it's kind of looking like last game, where even though Sovereign has a chance to score, he just can't seem to do so. Every interaction just being one as the core goes red. Flip out, and again another stop! An amazing stop by Jewish Asian that keeps the core away, and they have to burn 2 flips for this offense.
Yeah, and that's brutal. It feels like that's a spot where, like, yes, you honestly are, like, I think you're pretty happy with that. You got so many resources out. Forcing them to burn flip there after all that. You are buying yourself a little CDR. Yes, it sucks to lose the point, but... Oh my god. Oh, I really thought Eternal was going to die there, like, from a Eddie Cam flip following that beam, but unfortunately not. But the middle Baron's about to fall, and it'll be... you see everybody kind of stop. Nobody wants to, like, sacrifice it.
Edicam picking up the Era Orb. And he's about to change the game very, very quickly. Even Jewish Asian walking up as well. The flip is saved out, but Snack Time still have 2 flips left to go. One and burn, trying to pass it to Edicam. Edicam still in the corner. Will burn his flip too. And now 3 flips gone for Snack Time. And can they salvage this point away? And yes, they can. Edicam punching it in.
And I don't... It honestly feels like this is a Snack Time masterclass, dare I say. Like, they are just locked in. It feels like every time Eddie Cam touches the ball, he's making the most work. And even if he's not touching the ball, he's threatening something. And look at him. Oh, almost won that high key. Like, if that guy's not abusing Drakkar, Eddie Cam's taking that barrier there, dare I say. And it's very impressive. Just everybody on Snack Time right now putting up a massive performance.
2 barriers found for the scriptwriters as they easily clean up that point. As Drakkar sends it again to the top corner, and Jewish Asian just isn't there to react to it. And now scriptwriters are trying to bring this back on their not really heavy map pick. They are kind of favorites going into this, but right now it just seems like they're just getting stomped on anywhere they go, and the speed from Jewish Asian is not helping them in their path to winning. The corner just occupied by all 3 members of Snack Time, making sure that they can find something good, and there we go. Edicam fighting 1-2 value and getting the kill onto Eternal once again as the core floats around behind the backline. It's usually interesting to set up Edicam for the pass, and the corner offense is all good for Snack Time as they bring it to 0.5. Captain Cold sinking it in and trying to bring this to a close, and we're back on the bouncy house, baby.
We're back on the bouncy house. The Mako secondary is going to come out, and that is a major ability to come out and get out early. But Eddie Cam coming up here with a flip. Sovereign nearing his... Oh my god, Megaverse, watch out. You will be sent to the furthest steps.
Of course, the pass coming in. The flip will be burned. A crazy angle from Sovereign, finding it, taking Jewish Asian's barrier. Now it allows Sovereign to have a lot of space heading into this. Mako cage burnt as Eternal trying to work his way up to the bottom side, trying to find Sovereign, trying to set up for an easy shot. But it can't seem to be done. Captain Cold still holding on Edicam with flip to go. And overtime isn't kicking in quite yet, but it's soon close to be. What a save from Jewish Asian. He pops the flip in time, take the core away, and Snack Time back with 2 flips on the board. One will be burnt. Edicam getting the pass away, but it isn't quite there. Edicam still trying to find something to work with. The core just isn't bouncing his way, and we'll find the kill onto Eternal once again. A power play is good at Megaverse. Can he hold it down? Tofu Log doing a lot of the work here, and now he doesn't have any abilities yet. Everyone on Snack Time has the abilities to do so. They will find 1 barrier though for their troubles to try to equalize the loss from Eternal. Eternal coming right in and will send it home for scriptwriters as they bring it up back a set And of course, Eternal trying to do all the work for himself. I mean, the midfielder just has to carry the boats and the logs. And Jakar, the one getting it done. Businessman Jakar has lots of work for two. Stinger, Hotshot on the board.
Yes, he does have a lot, but also there's a lot. It's kind of just a loaded draft. There's a couple hard draft to work around, honestly, because no matter what you take on Drakkar, it feels like the enemy team's going to pick up something that you're really not too happy with. Estelle Hotshot, that's going to be concerning. Built different on Mako, doesn't really matter. Julie picking up a little reptile remedy to help with that peak performance scaling, and I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe, maybe Snack Time, paid. Ask for the Sad Boy Seeker, lose the round, win the draft, because Hotshot, Hotshot mostly. It was just a very empty draft, I feel like. Super Surge isn't going to do you too much, I don't think.
I think the big scary thing for Megaverse is that now he has Gas to Last. Very, very scary awakening, especially for Megaverse, and he's able to stop Edicam in a lot of these starts if he's just able to.
Oh my God.
Fortress is actually very, very good there. Kind of half expecting it to go the wrong way, and it thankfully works out for him. Now as Edicam sets it up, doesn't find anything though as the corner offense is stalled out, and Sovereign back on the side. I mean, the Xeno variant of this map is kind of hard to get into if you're not on the right side of the Xeno, the cloak at least, because if you're not there, it seems like the corner offense just kind of is stalled up because there's a lot more space to play around. And of course the Hotshot doing a lot of wonders. Edicam having flip to go. The core just is a little bit too far for Sovereign. I mean, he's trying to set up himself, and it just can't seem to work because Jewish Asian is just still there, ready to put himself into work. Sovereign with the flip, raring to go as Hotshot just sending the core all the way around. The flip is good, but the Double Fortress saves it somehow, and now Megaverse back on his feet as Captain Cole sends it right down, and Sovereign picks up the core yet again. Flip is burnt, and there's just a little tiny pocket. Freaking catch the core, and the strike pushes have to be won. But Edicam again with the core ready to go. Will actually try to go for the dash, and Megaverse, he's holding it down for his life. And strike war won. One strike war won is overtime on the clock now. As Megaverse gets the Sovereign. Sovereign dribbling it away as Jewish Agent saves it. Megaverse with a great save himself. This is a very, very special point. And Jewish Agent still has a flip ready to go, and the hit stun from Eternal, sending it home. As Jewish Asian loses, I think, to the password, I think gets done just a little bit in time for Eternal to just slip the core right in there.
Yeah, Megaverse putting on honestly a really, really good defense. Walking up, challenging Edicam even with nothing in his kit. Just said, I'm gonna evade your dash and I'm gonna win this interaction. Very, very beautiful indeed. And that is actually what I think that's what scriptwriters need, is they need to just stall and get the cooldowns out, and Megaverse Eternal will have to find a way to survive Edicam, even if it's brutal.
Back past the Megaverse is going to set themselves up very well, but Edicam will send Sovereign packing for a little bit longer as the stall comes out. One barrier found. Eternal clearing it out, but Jewish Asian is just ready to be there. No one to stop the Mako secondary from going to revive, but Sovereign comes back online to get the offense. The party back started as the core almost slipping away from Megaverse there. The clear unfortunately found as the core just isn't going their way. Edicam still with a flip almost raring to go, and the prediction from the Mako cage just isn't good. Megaverse tries to save it, but the Dufu Fortress finally doesn't work, and the core slips right past him. Captain Cold picking up the goal.
Yeah, that feels bad, but shrug your head, shake your head off. I don't know what shake it off. That's what I'm looking for. Edicam's decided that the Asher it's no longer her game. Oh, and Megaverse even claimed the variant to help even this out.
Cast to last value, and of course Jewish Asian Captain Cold Edicam, they lose one barrier on the reverse power play. They did have a kill to go. They lose the second one too with two flips online, possibly a third stack of butter ready to be picked up. One burn on the defense end. Sovereign gets the whip, but Eternal burns his flip too seemingly, and now it just feels like it's all for naught just for a little bit longer. Michigan gets the core away, but Sovereign is still there to pick it up, sending it to the bottom corner. And scriptwriters, they're back in the lead, and if they can claim the set, there'll be more. I guess there'll be less stress on them to be able to bring this point back, or this game back.
Yeah, but they do. There is There's a lot of flips on. Oh, unfortunately, flip's not going to land and kill Eternal there, which kind of evens it out again. Really, I was about to comment the flips for the side of Snack Time is probably the one saving grace they have, but unfortunately that just didn't work out, and now it's just Jewish Asian forced to burn his here on the defense, but it doesn't even clear it out.
The clear out not good for him as the core is still stuck on the bottom side. Eternal and Sovereign with the level of disparity at least. Just is looked like Eternal is just holding the core for his dear life. Megaverse trying to walk up, trying to take advantage of Edicam positioning, and of course that Dubu is just extremely fat, and where if he's big enough, he's able to kind of be able to like play like Kazan almost, where you're just stepping up right in front of the brawler and just taking the strike war away from him because he just doesn't get the strike to begin with. And of course, Captain Cold again capitalizing on the out clear. And of course, the core going red once again is just such a dangerous spot to be in. The core isn't burnt, the flip burnt too, and Sovereign has to pick up the orb, but doesn't get it actually, and will be going to be forcing the KO as Sovereign sinks it right at Asher moment.
Wow.
Crazy Asher moment there.
I mean, what? You're right. Like, oh my god, what
Right.
Asher. I mean, well played, but there sometimes we gotta accept that, like, the character does some disturbing stuff. So the character does some awful, atrocious things in their time of need. Anyways, not Killiest. I don't know. I connect Drakkar with Killiest so much. I don't know. Eternal, figure of a team player, will be very impactful, but also prime time on Captain Cold with that hotshot heavy impact peak performance. They will be printing CDs, will be printing, those beams. Stacks on stacks on your Jewish Asian. He's stacking with the inner focus and the stacks. If they manage to get those both stacked up, he will be a menace. But also that means if he dies, well, that's -2 awakenings. And other than that, Megaverse picking up a little orb dancer, that could be impactful if he starts to glide. And I know Megaverse likes to glide. He is a young flying man.
Let my goalie fly as. Actually, who actually said that quote? It was like "Let me fly," and I think was that Zoro actually? It's the Kai emote, the one where it's like "Let me fly." I think that's what's going on here, and of course Edicam flying, sending Eternal flying off the map actually, as again the castle has value stops the second bear from being taken as Sovereign again trying to play defense, the bounty house, getting the core away all the way around and making sure that Edicam is able to get into those positions very, very easily as Eternal comes back online with flip to Boo for Sovereign at least. Prime time on Captain Cold is just doing such a great job keeping the core away and leaving the core speed still on the ropes. Now, Jewish Agent burning one flip. Captain Cold also burning his flip too, and now Snack Time don't look like they're in a really great spot as now the core is on the other side and Captain Cold again just can't seem to sink it in quite yet. We're nearing overtime already in the core, still going red, and Captain Cold reading Eternal perfectly there, putting Snack Time on the board themselves as they even up the score 1-1.
Yeah, and this is a bit of a scary spot, I think. I think if you're scriptwriters, you're kind of chilling comfortably, 2 flips to work with, but I don't know, Sovereign might lose his if he's not careful. I think he's alive for now, managed to evade the dash, which is the main kill. But Megaverse, look at him go. He's up there. He wants to claim this point while Sovereign plays a little defense. Oh, Sovereign's gone. Just kidding.
Let my goalie fly! And the flip burnt as well, and him himself getting murdered on the spot too. Leaves Eternal in a 1v3 position. Not really the best you want to see from scriptwriters. Is another kill almost found as the second barrier does fall. Megaverse coming back online, evening out the playing field as Captain Cold and Edicam try to work together, try to earn this goal for themselves. Another flip online as they confirm and connect on the power, on the play at least. And now scriptwriters the one turning the page to the next chapter, trying to get the book done, trying to get the book written out and finished and published, as well as they are a match point on the Arrow Orb variant now. And of course, Sovereign trying to keep the point alive, will not actually earn the Arrow Orb though. Captain Cold turning up the gear and will burn his flip too to try to get the core into the corner as usual, and quickly keeps it away. And Eternal again with the speed is able to get his mark and earn the first barrier for himself. The back pass to Megaverse setting up the side corner now as they're just trying to the backline passes are just trying to connect together. And Of course, Sovereign picking up his flip too, and the clear isn't good though. Captain Cold keeping themselves kind of just on the back foot just for a little bit longer, as now Sovereign still has the flip ready to go. Will actually burn it now as Julian loses the second barrier. Megaverse picking up the big Orbis. Well, he is a big fat Dubu, the big hamster, walking his way around the map as Eternal tries to get the core to Sovereign, but he's extremely low. We have to keep out for that as the blade kind of just stops a little bit.
Yeah, Megaverse kind of just waiting,
Oh,
realizing
no.
there's no threat, but I don't know. It's looking dire. A 3v2, and I think Snack Time will have the discipline to put it in. Oh! I wasn't expecting it to go in like that, though.
I think Megaverse tried to stun Edicam, and he buffered his punch, which made the core go right past him.
That's, really well played, but also very, very scary for the scriptwriters. Edicam with a flip. We've seen how lethal he can be with just regular dash punch. Now let's throw a flip on top of it. But Sovereign thinking maybe he's going to try to end the round before Eddie has a chance.
Of course, already going on two flips coming online for Edicam and Captain Cold as Mega Burst burns his as well, and this could be very much well the end. The goalie kicked off the map as now Edicam and Captain Cold, the duo that played in solo queue, will be fought off the map. Captain Cold again saving it away as he has to flip only to work with the core going all the way around. Jewish Asian back on the board. He earns second barrier too. Somehow they are almost in it, but it can't be counted out as Eternal sinks it right in past Jewish Asian. As now the score is even up. Both teams taking a map off of each other's map picks as we head on to the Atlas Lab as our final game.
Yeah, a very nice try from Captain Cold there. Claiming the barrier, and you know, if that Mako cage connected, and it's not even like it was a bad Mako cage, that's a hard shot to hit. It's just a little unfortunate. Like it was almost there. It was looking so winnable. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out. But you know, that happens sometimes. But I would not be too worried about it. I think there's still plenty of room, especially on a map like Atlab, which was the game 3 decider that both teams, or well, not both teams, but the game 3 decider that, you know, ended up being picked. And this is a pretty neutral map, I think. I mean, there is like the damage threat with the Black Hole, right? That is something to worry about. But I don't think either of these teams are heavy damage teams, so I don't know if that's really a thing that is concerning. Although, I say that, except Eddie Cam's been a bit lethal today, farming that KO per 10 stat, so maybe, you know, if he finds somebody staggered, that could be very impactful, but I don't know. I don't know what the game plan is for either of these teams going in. It's very interesting to see what will happen, whether we'll see Megaverse on the Dubu, or if it'll be banned, or if we see maybe the Kai eject come back out. Or Snack Time, because the Estelle pick got a lot of value, but you did give up some really high prio picks, I think. So I don't know. There's a lot to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, even accounting the other game as well, I think Edicam has a combined, like he has more than 10 kills. I think trying to do simple math right now. I think 7 plus whatever I saw last time as a number for Edicam is pretty much bigger than 10. So that guy is definitely on the child. He's definitely looking for people to murk out of thin air, and it doesn't seem like scriptwriters are looking at keeping it away, I think, from Edicam. I mean, if they're able to stop the Edicam kill threat, then they just start winning games. And I think the Gates of Obscura game, the killing got out of hand, the damage got out of hand, really. And in this map, or at least on CTC, they actually had a bit of a better time, I think, staying alive. And even Megaverse, I mean, that guy, can we just congratulate that guy for like holding it down to the end of Earth? I mean, there are so many times where it looked like it was game over. It looked like Edicam was about to like completely just Juliet all over him, and it's like, oh my god, he saved it. He saved it somehow, but he saved it.
No, I agree. I think Megaverse put up a phenomenal performance on the Dubu and on the Kai. However, Dubu just kind of gets the shine because that character is, well, he's Dubu. All right, he's Audie's favorite. He's allowed to. It just sometimes it feels like that character just manages to pull the most crazy saves out of nowhere. But even whenever he had nothing to do with Dubu, it was sometimes a lot of the time it was literally just evade striking, and it was really nice. Also, shout out a little maybe unseen. I don't know. Eternal didn't really get a lot of defense action there, but Eternal was doing a pretty good job at like whenever Megaverse was put into those dire situations where where something has to happen. A lot of the time, Eternal would like kind of take the goalie mantle for a second and give Megaverse that confidence to just go up and like win the interaction that he needed to win.
And of course, I mean, even in the other game, the first game, a lot of the times I saw Eternal and Megaverse kind of just role swapping back and forth. Like Eternal would play more defense, and then Megaverse would walk up with the Kai, and it did somewhat work. But then in the end, they just couldn't seem to hold it down because Eternal kept getting kind of called out on his positioning and being punished for where he was standing. So wasn't the greatest thing to look at, but still, it ended up working well this game, I think, especially with Zubu walking up and playing a lot more of that defensive role and Eternal just being there waiting to help him out, but also helping out Sovereign a lot more, I think. I think in Gates there was a lot more like Sovereign action and he just couldn't get it done because again it's Asher versus like it's Asher. You have to have the core come to you or else you're screwed. And I think this game it was a lot better for Sovereign because Eternal could get him the core that time around and was able to finish whenever Sovereign couldn't.
I could definitely see that being part of it. Also, it is actually a really good thing to mention the Asher. I am curious if we'll see a ban be thrown that way because honestly, it's not that I don't think the Asher's been that threatening. It's doing Asher stuff. Well, okay. It's been doing Asher stuff. But Jewish Asian has actually been playing into it really well. And I feel like a lot of the times, on the flip side, you know, Jewish Asian had some really nice saves against the Asher that were looking pretty doomed. And I honestly couldn't tell you how he did it. A lot of the time I'd be like, oh, it's actually done. But like it was just he'd find the way out, or he'd manage to shut down and like play around the pass splitter really well. But I do wonder if maybe it's worth throwing a ban out there, because you know, one game of Asher is one thing. Two games on Asher means you're kind of like looking to play the Asher, I think, and she is very powerful. So I'm just curious if maybe like you just play into like something that's a little bit easier so that you don't get as many of those. Oh, I can't do anything because this is Asher moments, you know?
Yeah, I mean, what was the point? It was I think it was on the obscura variant where the core just ended up somehow getting stuck, where it kind of didn't look like it was stuck, and then it just got stuck, and then you really couldn't do anything about it. I think Jewish Asian though, you said earlier they was playing into really the fact that just how you play against Asher is just clearing it away, and the fact that like I think I was talking about this with like a friend earlier. The fact that the game has kind of evolved into like hitting the core away as best as possible. It kind of like revolutionized the way that people play goalie. Because obviously before it's like, yeah, I'm about to corner clear this every single time. I'm about to hit the bozo corner clear every single time. And now it's like, I can be comfortable taking the out clear in front of a melee character because one, either the midfielder isn't there, or two, I just feel comfortable enough because I know it can gap him. And Jewish Asian has been doing a lot of gapping as of recently. I mean, even the Asher, it just seemed like almost every time Sovereign almost missed like a little, like he misplaced it like a little bit, like maybe saying the core a little bit too far, so where he can't catch it in a specific spot, and just Jewish Fusion just completely like takes control of that and like says, "Yeah, man, you kind of just suck and you can't like get the core out. If you send it to me a little bit too quickly, then you're just screwed and you just don't get any play whatsoever." And of course, that I mean, just the hold in general. I mean, both teams. I wanted to like say it earlier. I mean, there are so many times where the strike, like straight up flip, has just been denied by a simple strike, and like that doesn't happen a lot. But I think it's happened more than a couple of times that you can possibly think in like both of those games.
Yeah, for sure. And we are a little bit of a delay. I think the drafters bugged out, but do have information on the starting awakenings. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the best starting awakening pair I think any game has ever had. One of them, very, very notorious, very fan favorite awakening, Berserker. Round of applause, everybody. Don't everybody get too excited now. The other one being Orb Dancer. So,
Right.
as
Right.
everybody lock in, people are going to be dancing. The Ponderer may be gone, but we will remember in our hearts what we lost. And I believe it's an AtLab. It is an AtLab dancer start. I imagine we will see six berserkers. I got a little mind controlled by this comment here that just got posted. 6 orb dancers, if I had to guess. I don't think anyone is going to be taking berserker. Unfortunately, it is hard to get value out of that awakening. And once again, we will see the Atlas band come out for snack time. They seem very, very happy to just get Megaverse off the Atlas.
Ooh.
Scriptwriters banning the X again is still scared of Eddie Cam, but I think Snack Time learned their lesson. They've picked the Dubu for themselves, and that's really, really good, especially on this map where Dubu can get involved on an Orb Dancer start. I think we will see a lot of aggressive Dubu plays, especially once he gets those 5 stacks under his belt, you know. And the Dubu might be big, but he is not slow whenever he's dancing.
Yeah, the Kai pick on the other side for the scriptwriter is a bit interesting. It could come out anyway, and the Asher again falling down to Sovereign. I think the scary part is have they learned from Gates and pick to the point where they have to play a little bit less defensively and more on top, where Sovereign is to do anything. And this time around, the Estelle Rasmus actually coming out this time. Edicam actually playing a different brawler actually. I mean, one of his brawlers was banned, but he doesn't pick up the Julie this time. Actually going for the Rasmus now, so another character pick for him. And I wonder what scriptwriters are going to be planning for this last pick. Will they? And they're going for the rune. Actually, the rune comes out.
The rune, I think that is the Megaverse rune. Actually, I know we all know Megaverse for his Kai. But I do think that is Megaverse rune. That is also one of his picks that he's known for. It might be Eternals rune. I don't know. Also, little fun fact for the fans at home, there was an opportunity to re-roll the Awakening start. However, a member of one of the teams, I won't put them on. I won't say who. You know, I think anonymity.
I think it's fairly obvious who it is, bro. With the prize in the bag. With the prize in the bag.
Somebody said, "Sorry, we want orbs," and because of that, we will be seeing the orb dancers stick through and into this draft as soon as. Oh, here we go. We're actually loading in right now. Very interesting drafts. Estelle Rasmus. It's a tale as old as time. Lock of Dubu behind them. They are very known comp. I think scriptwriters with their Rune Kai backline will have some room for some real outplays. However, I do worry because you have no real hit stun besides Giga Blast. So if Rasmus gets this ball, I wonder how are you going to get it away from him?
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, I think the core control department, low key, might be a bit better. I think we figured out who wanted the orbs actually. I mean, quick, very fun quick fact. This I'm pretty sure Jewish Asian led, I think, Nasty season 2 as the guy with the most orbs, and I think in 10 minutes. I think with I don't remember the number because it's been so long, but he's a big fat orb eater. Anacam staying on the other side of the map, can't really do much. As Eternal sinks it right in. I mean, look at the guy. He kind of just sat there wanting to eat the orb on the other side of the map.
Anacam, young man, your team is your team needs you. I know the orbs are quite delicious. Oh, a little.
Oh yeah, I think he lagged out.
Oh, that would be an interesting. Okay, well, you know what? If he did lag out, you know, you lose a point. At least you got 2 orbs for the road. Quite so yummy. We'll see what's happening. What's going on? Oh, actually, we've been updated. His keyboard broke.
Right.
I don't know who his is. It seems to be fixed now, though. Eternal getting on up in there with the Mag Souls. Megaverse actually has the eject button. That's a little odd. I normally see Rune with the mom boots or most notably the strike shot from yesterday's game. When Vaughn picked it. Oh, little Sad Boys angle coming out. Megaverse is a good little hold there to keep it And this is a... Oh, God. Oh, it's a nightmare.
A very scary moment for the Asher to get into that very, very quick sweet spot for himself. Captain Cold taking the barrier away, and Megaverse coming up with Flip 2. As Sovereign tries to go for the KO. Won't find it, though. Ability is wasted now as Edicam finds the perfect time to use his pendulum swing and secures another point. Secures a point in what is a very, very, very tense map 3 for both teams. One team already took off a game to what seemed to be a very, very strong competent team, and now they're kind of on the marks, and the other team looking to keep their streak alive, and Sovereign paying the price for it will get knocked off the map with a Captain Cold dash and flip moments, as they're now hungry for blood, hungry for the barrier as well. Eternal not in a good spot, will get knocked off the map, but they trade one barrier for the troubles. Actually, Captain Cold saving it away as Sovereign playing defense right now, as Edicam picks up another orb for the road. 4 orb dancers to go, one more to earn the speed possible, and Edicam with flip will send it not home. Actually, I was about to pre-fire that too, but Edicam does end up sending it home in the end anyways.
Yeah, unfortunately that setup is typically like really, really good. Unfortunately against Rune, it doesn't work quite as well because you just pillars, and well, what can you do? But 4, 2, 3, those are the orb counts for blue side. Red side, 4 orbs on their Megaverse, and unfortunately nobody else is really feeling like a muncher. They do not got that snack gene, but oh
no.
my god, Jewish Asian might be snacking on the enemy brawler.
Yeah, the rolled KO, and that's why Doom is just an insanely great pick. It just ends up happening that every time you get too close to the corner, it just looks like it won't be a KO, it ends up just being ready KO at the really most unimportant times ever. And of course, it just looks like on the meantime, no one wants to eat the orbs. Actually, I mean, I just saw Edicam at Megaverse walk away from the freest orb of their life. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, there does not seem to be a little, well, there does not seem to be a lot of value put on the orbs for the side of scriptwriters, and I think that is, well, I think that's a mistake. I think you can't ignore the orb start, unfortunately. It is very, very strong, and I think it does demand that you kind of play around them.
Cole, what
no.
the flip? Tries to go for the free tag, just rolls forward. Oh no, as Megaverse, the goalie cleans the goal for himself now, as scriptwriters are bringing it back to 0.5 once again, and the orb count for each of the members of Snack Time are still very, very high up. I mean, the big thing is that I think scriptwriters are looking for kills. They haven't looked for, I don't think they've really got any kills, realistically, since the beginning of the game, so that could be a big problem if they don't reset people's stacks. And Summers has been trying to go for kills, but again, I think you mentioned earlier, I mean, Asher DP isn't the greatest, and it's also kind of low-key predictable, as the flip goes on to Jewish Asian and will find the top barrier for his troubles, as Eternal looking forward to Sovereign, passing the core back to back past the Megaverse to Eternal. Setup is perfectly fine as Sovereign gets the pass splitter down and sends it to the bottom corner for scriptwriters to take one set away from Snack Time.
You know, I said earlier that I think scriptwriters is kind of ignoring the orb in game, and that they probably can't do that. However, I don't think they care what I have to say. I think they're just gonna win without the orbs. And you know, if it works, it works. You know, I can't tell you how to play the game. I'm just here to cast. Regardless, Kai. A little team player action. Jewish Asian, Orb Dancer, and Missile Prop means he will be getting around. Captain Cold picking up a twin drive for himself. He will also be getting around. Megaverse, a little peak performance. Eddie Cam on the built different. And I don't know. I'm looking at this, guys. I gotta say, Snack Time draft looking really good. Missile Prop, twin drive. Your Erasmus gets a little bit of size. Just enough size to like be useful. I mean, oh my god, look at the Dubu wall.
Dubu wall slowing the core out a little bit, and the banish coming in as the kill will finally be found. Captain Cold flying quite literally off the map this time around, as one barrier on the anti-power play is found. Dubu holding it down, Edicam forced to play back in a very defensive position. As Asian is now falling down, I kind of lied about wanting for them to not find any kills, but now they're finding all of the kills necessary as the second barrier is found, as now the power play is coming to a close. Megaverse picking up the orb as well, as they do earn a second barrier in the boat, and actually not even a second barrier. the boys angle is just a little bit too different away from home as Megaverse is able to get up in there, and it just forces out a lot of abilities from from Jewish Asian. And again, the stall out from the flips is just working so well, and Asian are just losing. Why am I saying Asian so much? I can't like get that out of my head somehow, and somehow the core ends up being saved, but not for long, as Sovereign sinks it right to the top corner once again.
Yeah, and it was almost a really nice save from Captain Cold. Unfortunately, it is a very, very hard strike war. The second one is very hard. Also, Jewish Asian losing all of his Orb Dancer stacks. Captain Cold also sitting at 1. That means the only person on the side of Snack Time that has a real orb count that matters is Eddie Cam, who has all of theirs, but doesn't seem to be getting too much value out of it. But I don't know, he might just not need it. Oh, this looks nightmarish. Oh god.
I mean, thank goodness Megaverse didn't get killed there, otherwise that stack reset would have been catastrophic for him. But now Edicam bringing it back up, he still has 5 orbs to his name, so him staying alive, kind of all that matters in Eternal. Stalling the core out is a little bit into the bottom, in the top corner at least, makes it so a lot easier for him to get into that position. Vanish comes out, and Edicam still extremely fast, has to work around the room as Captain Cold still has a flip raring to go right now. Sovereign trying to just get something down at Edicam. Not Edicam, but Captain Cold fighting another kill to Sovereign. Another one for the books as the boys angle hit once again. It's still extremely scary for the scriptwriters. I mean, this kind of play is it's extremely scary as Eternal picks up another orb for his troubles and now has the full stack available. The flip comes around, Sovereign back on the map too, and now a Jewish agent trying to keep the core away from Sovereign. And somehow the bear just isn't saved though. Eternal getting put down. Has to keep watch a little bit for longer as now he's a little bit low in the moments. And of course he's able to get that stagger back, and Megaverse with a stick of butter ready to go. Will he be able to use it on the offense?
Yeah, and overtime ticks over, and I don't know, it's he managed to use it to get it on defense, which is fine, but still very scary. Goalie orb, Megaverse claiming it for himself, and Jewish Asian looking to like find something to get this out, but I don't know, I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, but it does.
On the ropes now, core going red very, very quickly, and again Eternal not in the right spot, again taking a lot of damage. Sovereign claims the second barrier as well as Edicam, the one walking up now, will kill Megaverse and will not kill Eternal though, but Megaverse going down is a step towards winning the set here as the Orb Dancers, again, the stack is just so important. And back on the Snack Time side, Captain Cold still has 2 orbs, so hopefully he can try to get more coming into this as the bounce from the Dubu isn't the greatest, but it's still okay. Jewish Agent keeping it away, and Edicam being put on a spin cycle just a little bit. It will be taken to 50% HP and will earn 1 barrier though, but he isn't picking up any of the orbs though. I mean, he has to keep his ground, but also he isn't taking any orb away from Megaverse. So 1 barrier, 2 barriers actually found from a missed strike timing from Jewish Agent, sets them up a little bit worse than expected. The Sovereign just has to put it away in the path splitter, winning every interaction against Jewish Agent. There's no way that he could possibly save it away, as Sovereign brings scriptwriters again up to a 0.5.
Yeah, and going into this final point of set 2, there is I'd say it's pretty even. Captain Cold and Edicam actually have a little bit of a flip energy advantage, but I don't know. If forced to use one and it's actually not going to claim anything, Edicam will lock it in actually. But if oh god, wait, actually Edicam wants to win right now and he's going to do it, I think. It isn't. I didn't really see the world. I didn't see the vision, but Edicam, you know, forcing the opening somehow, finding the only winning play or something like that. And he will be rewarded for a little something. I don't actually know what Rasmus wants here. Stacks on stacks in our focus. Both really good. If you've been watching Nassel, maybe even a little quick strikes. If anybody's seen the phenomenal gameplay that's happened when it's been picked up by brawlers, it is stacks on stacks though. Scriptwriters picking up what? Got hello. Is this thing on? Keep?
Right.
Okay. Rune, Monumentalist. That will be good for eating the barrier. Sovereign opting into prime time, and I think that might have been a mistake because I feel like Kai would have really, really liked to have that. Kai's also happy with quick strikes a little bit, but I don't think he's that happy with quick strikes.
Oh, what a save.
Oh. Wait, they're doing it. Watch for Eddie Cam. He does have Orb Dancer, and also he will have stacks later on. So that means, you know, he gets both those stacked up. Oh, Captain Cold not managing to find that. He gets both those stacked up, and it's going to be very, very concerning.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, obviously, I think the prime time Asher fuel has been kicking into full gear for the most part. I mean, that's kind of the reason why the Sovereign decided to take it, as he's still dancing around and getting everything done now as Eternal, the one trying to work at the bottom corner. J corner actually trying to be worked out as Megaverse again pushing up very, very quickly, as the Monumentalist isn't really doing too much because, I mean, it's been working out sometimes, but it doesn't work out all the time, as Asher, the one putting in the net, actually doesn't get to save it out though. Somehow the core is all the way around Eternal, not really looking too good right now. Will be saved away by Edicam. Will be saved away by Edicam with Megaverse helping out the Banish, and the second barrier being found there. The angle almost being found too as Edicam burns the flip, tries to get away, and now Sovereign has a target to hunt at least. Edicam not be able to get the orbs, is looking not too healthy right now, and really anything can set him off the map at this very moment as Jewish Asian sends to the bottom to the top corner himself. Very, very nice goalie work and good synergy play from Jewish Asian and Captain Cold to find it.
Yeah, and keep an eye on Eddie Cam and Captain Cold. Both of them almost halfway on their stacking awakenings. Not Orb Dancer, I'm talking about Eddie Cam's stacks on stacks. The pancakes are getting quite high. And also the inner focus, Captain Cold will be having 10 CDR right now, very close to that fabled 13 that gets doubled. And I don't know, they might not even get a chance, but Jewish Asian, Megaverse has it.
Thankfully so, and again another strike out for Sovereign to get the core out of the way, and now Captain Cold on a little bit on thin ice right now. They can't pick up the orb, and somehow he just isn't perishing just yet. Captain Cold still not in the driver's seat, not where he really wants to be right now, as the entirety of Scriptwriters is leaving Sovereign on an island to keep the core in his own possession. Edicam trying to stun Sovereign away, trying to get the orb, trying to get the value of the black hole to hit Sovereign as hard as possible, and of course SNCK Time are still kind of working their way around extremely easily. Captain Cold dashing up to try to get the core away from the pillar, and now his Megaverse is still holding on for dear life.
Yeah, and this corner offense from Striker, I'm having a stroke. SCP, Eternal, Sovereign, both flips. Eternal's got the quick strikes in the corner. We were saying it's a bit of a mistake to not let him have prime time, but I don't know, quick strikes is lethal as well. Jewish Asian red speeding for some reason. 1-2 punch.
Somehow the barrier isn't taken. I don't know how. Asian just had not even Asian. The Jewish Asian had a crazy save. I mean that low-key looked like the Asian line, bro. Cause like I remember watching the Pantheon dad sequence, and like Asian had this crazy amount of saves, and I'm like thinking like, oh my god, Jewish Asian, he somehow hold it down, and that's just kind of pure cinema. As he also gets the flip out in time too. Eternal not having a flip as well, and SNCK Time are in an insanely great spot right now. They have everything to work around, and Jewish Asian again pushing up very, very quickly, as Edicam hasn't been taken care of yet. He gets another orb as it picks up his flip as well, as the Death Touch comes online, and the flip to boot as well as he gets the kill. And can he just win a simple strike where to bring it home for his team? And yes, he can do so himself, as SNCK Time are one set away from taking their first series away from SCP.
Yeah, and there is a couple things in this draft to look for, namely the glass cannon. I think Dubu will be very happy. Oh, happy, sorry, actually, that. Either or. It's
oh, wait,
personal
that's actually
preference.
good, though.
Yeah, they are both really, really good. Those tofu fortresses are going to be fortressing, and, you know, with the missile prop, with the dancer, he will be plenty fast enough to get where he needs to be. Rasmus picking up a little glass cannon. Always nice to have a little extra speed on the brawler. And Deadeye for your Estelle, you're very happy with that. But notably, Asher picking up the bulk up. That is a little scary, especially when she has Reptile Remedy already. It does make that character's dash punch feel a little oppressive, I will say. And Timeless on your Monu rune will be quite nice as well. So if Eddie Cam doesn't eat these pillars, it'll be like they just stand for such a long time. And I mean, take notes. That's like a whole 5 seconds or something. I don't know.
The big scary thing I think to look out for is how Jewish Asian is playing his tofu logs, and I mean at the start of almost every single round when he could possibly do so, he throws the throws the tofu fortress out, and
oh my god,
it kind of acts, and what a save, but it kind of acts like it kind of acts like a boot like Asher ult, and it just allows him to be able to force force offense to one side, and it's working so well because look at where they are right now. They have 2 barriers, and the other team doesn't. Edicam again extremely low, and the flip comes awry as Captain Cold has to fight against Sovereign. 1 barrier found as the core slips all the way around. A good save by Megaverse keeps the core, keeps the play alive and Eternal again. Very, very low. The black hole not popping at the right time, and Captain Cold again looking extremely low for it now. Megaverse gets to clear out just in time as the Tofu Fortress comes out wide once again. Captain Cold. What is that kill? Hello?
Okay, so it looked really weird. Eternal, the Giga Blast hit, and then Captain Cold blinked up further to catch the ball, and unfortunately the knockback remains. If you've ever seen Zentaro die after dashing, it's the same thing. It happens a little less to Estelle. Unfortunately, that means that kill will look a little weird. However, I think she was dead regardless. As a spec training Giga Blast, very, very, very high knockback.
With a crazy build, it's so hard to get anything done, and Sovereign just being put in the gauntlet. I mean, look at that! Look at the brawler. He just took. I'm pretty sure he just took like 1 million damage. Ended up getting Aura, bringing himself back to full HP, and then took 1 million damage once again, and he is not looking healthy at all. And if they ever go for a kill, it'd be onto Sovereign. 1 barrier found the boys angle, almost hit as Jewish Agent someone tries to save it and doesn't get to do so himself. The flip to the bottom corner is good. And we're getting close to a set 5.
Wait, we are? Wait, I'm actually thoroughly shocked for getting close to 2.5. I thought like it was.
Oh, I meant set 5.
Sorry. No, I know what you meant. Jewish Asian though, putting on a master class in the defense. It feels like every time this ball gets in front of him, he does not care that there's an Asher. It is not that scary apparently, but you know, whenever it goes around Dubu, that is probably his biggest weakness.
Oh no, Captain Cole with the flip. Gonna get to Edicam. Edicam does have a saving grace though. Flip still intact and won't use it for the second barrier. Sovereign by himself. He gets the flick down, and we're going to set 5.
Scriptwriters wanting to win. This is it's not a super important game for them. However, they are undefeated, so I imagine they want to keep that record. But and I think this is also a very impactful draft, if I had to guess. I'm looking at it. Asher has a couple choices. Heavy impact, prize fighter, some rampage or demo. Opting into the size. That will help a little bit with this Dubu. Just kind of be massive in front of him. Siege Machine. Megaverse has every creation awakening in the game, I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's creation maxing right now. Eternal does pick up in aerials. That will be very, very nice with the quick strikes, with the orb dancer, with the team player, the mag souls, all of this coming together. I think aerials really rounds out that build. And Edicam does pick up a rampage, which could be a little scary because we've seen he's already very threatening. And once he gets like 2 stacks on that, but he hasn't been dying too much. It's going to be hard to remove the stacks from him.
But who needs the stacks when they can just score at extremely quick pace? Megaverse again picking up the orb, being able to fly around the map very, very effortlessly. Black hole popped, and not a lot of people very healthy right now. Eternal not really in a good spot in terms of health right now. Megaverse trying to get aggressive, trying to put the play on hold right now, as Megaverse will be checkmated off the rip. As snack time, they're looking to eat the script themselves. And of course, I mean, this is kind of just like goalie build versus goalie build at this very moment. I mean, Megaverse kind of just has, I wouldn't even say it's the runic Zodia, but it's kind of close to it, at least. And Jewish Nation just has just kind of the Dubu build to play a very, very long range and keep Sovereign kind of out of the play almost all the time as long as he's there. And there we go, finally kill into Edicam, resetting literally everything that he has. So if they can keep looking for those, it'd be very good for them as the 2v3 power play comes online for Eternal. Sovereign, and Eternal gets the kill. Like Eternal falls down because he can't really do much. He gets the orb though and is able to live, but Sovereign, the one falling down, isn't that great. I mean, they reset Edicam, but they also reset Sovereign too, so it's a very, very tough road for both of us to get back on track, as now Edicam just trying to win a single interaction. Pillar being formed, Sovereign pushing up onto the gates, as now Eternal ready to just sink it right home. Great pass from him. That's a 0.3 even for both teams.
Yeah, and it is so hard to deal with. we did reset Eddie Camp stacks. He is 136-1 on Dancer stacks and Rampage. Also Sovereign losing his Orb Dancer stack. So a little bit of a... Honestly, there's a bit of an Orb Dancer stack shortage right now, I think. Nobody's really got it. Oh, Megaverse, unfortunately, unable to layer the strikes as needed. The Dubu wall is just too much. Jewish Asian, wait, is trying to kill.
Let the Dubu fly, and both flips actually burnt though. Captain Cold, a miscommunication. This could be dangerous for all three members, actually, I feel like, because Edicam, even though he's picking up a lot of these orbs, he's still not helping with the play at all. As Sovereign puts it right in. Doesn't find anything though, as Edicam forced to reckon from himself. Megaverse to pass onto the corner. Eternal has to flip, and Sovereign doing Sovereign things will push it in, and Eternal right there to confirm, and we're on match points for the scriptwriters. And of course the script isn't, it looks a little bit tattered, but still, it's still going to come out clean, and hopefully they can claim this last point for themselves.
Yeah, they do have a potential, but Eddicam, with a flip and with no energy for the other team, it is a possibility of something dire. I don't think this Banish is going to land the kill. And oh my, Eddicam not wanting to use it though, and I think that's a huge mistake. Oh, unless this goes in. Oh, Eddicam, please use it. Please, 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 please.
Eddicam. Oh, he is extremely low and has to play defense now. Boys angle hit. One berry sacrifices. Edicam has to run away. And now he's on the other side of the map, actually. And now with the flip, raring to go. Can he find the pass? He almost does. And Captain Cold still there. Jewish Asian putting on the skates, trying to get somewhere in between all three members of scriptwriters. And right now the script isn't being written by themselves. Now is Eternal taken almost off the map too, as Sovereign trying to put the final piece into place. The barrier falling down. Eternal with the speed. Sovereign almost having the flip though, as Jewish Asian picks up for himself. And Megaverse has a battle to fight. 2 members now as he gets off the map, and Megaverse trying to play the midfielder role all by himself, but Edicam's just there right to score, and we're on set 5.5.
I mean, what a series, and this is still anybody's game, but Sovereign almost back to Orb Dancer stacks, and with Core Flip to work with as well. Jewish Asian has his to possibly shut it down, and we can see the Jewish Asian get orbs ping. I think they understand the mission. One little Orb Dancer value is all it's really going to take, I think. The speed is going to be so impactful here in this final point of the game to decide who's taking the series.
Second barrier falling, and this could be the very last moment. Sovereign trying to get something done, and the kill fell into Eternal. This could be lights out already, and Jewish Asian with the flip too. He wants to score. Let the Dubu score, and the core goes all the way around. Jewish Asian still in the forefront with Eternal coming back online, and now Edicam playing defense, trying to get something done. One bear on the top side will fall, and Captain Cold a little bit stuck. Will flip, will be gone, and the strikes will be good. Strike comes inside. Eternal and Sovereign are setting up for the corner, and can they find it? And they almost do, and somehow Eternal with the speed sends it right home. And of course the winners write the script themselves. Megaverse, the director, Sovereign, the main character, and Eternal, the one to do it all, the producer himself, will send it home, and SCP will put themselves up to 5-0.
What a series. It was looking really good for straight 25 minutes on the dot. That's got to be something. But Snack Time putting up a crazy performance. Every individual member having, I feel like, some crazy moments. Jewish Asian on the defense, Edicam. It felt like it was just always finding kills when he needed on the Julie, and on this later half, like scoring whenever he touched the ball. Captain Cold had some amazing sequences as well. But unfortunately, the scriptwriters said that, well, they said the scriptwriters are going to win, unfortunately. And you can't, they've got it rigged. But it was a really good attempt. They are, I believe, the second loss they are the second team to actually beat scriptwriters in a game. So that is something, and unfortunately that does mean they will be 2-3, while scriptwriters are going 5-0. But regardless of the score lines, it was a very pleasant game to watch. Everybody played phenomenally. It's a very pleasant series, not just the last game. The entire series was kind of peak.
I mean, whenever you have the script writers writing the script, then it always is peak. I mean, hands up and getting ready to ball already. I think the big takeaway is that this time around, they actually kind of mitigated the amount of kills that were being found. I mean, obviously, they still had 9K, like the snack time still had 9 KOs. They were still feasting extremely hard, but they ended up playing very, very macro when they allowed themselves to win with just pure mechanics, and I guess that allowed them to win. They're not even close, as one may say. As now, I mean, SCP, they're still a very, very heavily favored team in Nasty right now. They're still a very, very strong team. Not really a lot of people can take games off of them, so good for them at least. And of course, the snack time. They had a very, very good game. I wasn't expecting them. I expected the games to be close, but I didn't expect an actual win out of them. So I mean, hats off to them. Like, not no actual caster buys, but that was like insanely good play games. I was like actually well played.
It's okay. You can say what you really mean. Okay, it was a Megaverse
No. There's
masterclass.
nothing to say. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. What are you talking
It was
about?
it. That's why it's Megaverse's story. We're just living in it. But I do believe, unless you have anything left to add on, we are probably done. We are going to cut to a break, or maybe I think we're cutting to a break. We have more games later today. I do not know the schedule myself, so somebody in chat has it probably. But there are other games today. I'll just find it real quick. Hang on.
Yeah,
Hold.
no. I got it. I got it. We have Q versus Pantheon in a little bit of in 15 minutes, so it's pretty chill. We let it go, and of course, the man himself, MF Doom versus Frick later today at 8 p.m. We'll be seeing Flop Flop play there, so don't go anywhere. We'll be going a little bit of break. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.